Welcome to the ranch.
Biggest avian bird flu outbreak? Is it true? You know what? We're here to encourage you. Stick around.
So we're out in the barn sitting in the four-wheeler, in case people couldn't tell. We were trying to find a good spot to sit and chat.
Because the wind is crazy out there.
The wind is crazy. This past week, Monica and I were kind of talking about some things around the ranch and, thinking about our channel. And our channel is really meant to be a source of encouragement to people. And so our talk today is a sit and chat talk. It's not something to scare people. It's not scare tactics, fear mongering, anything like that. But there is something that's real that's going on out there. And that is that the food chains, the supply chains are breaking down or slowing down, or however you look at it. It's a very real thing. You go to the grocery store and you see, no matter where you go, there's changes. And so recently, Monica had mentioned to me that there is now what? The biggest...
The article read, the biggest avian bird flu outbreak since 2015. Talk about trying to scare people. Oh my word. So what do? You want to start a homestead this year. You want to be more self-sufficient. You want to raise birds. You've been thinking about it for a while, or you're ready to get more birds. What do? Well, we have some ideas that we've been discussing, and we want to give you some encouragement that you can still do this. It's not too late to start your homestead or to live out the dreams that you want with the gateway bird.
Right.
The gateway animal.
In reality, chickens are the easiest animal, probably the easiest to get a hold of, or at least they were. With some of the restrictions that are in place now, they're not allowing chickens to be brought in from out of state. And so
in certain states.
Okay, and some people would say that that's a problem, and now their dreams or their desires to grow chickens or whatever, to raise chickens, is now over, or it's on pause. Just like the world was on pause for a couple of years because of the pandemic. Well, it doesn't have to be. What can they do?
So we have a couple tips and things that we were really discussing. We were like, well, so what happens to someone who has big dreams of starting their flock this year? So we have some ideas. First of all, you can find a person that's local to you and get some chicks that way. I mean, what's stopping you from going to a local farmer and asking them, or finding a friend that may have some incubated or some fertilized eggs, and getting an incubator and doing it yourself, right? Buy an incubator online. There's no laws against that. And incubate some of your own eggs. Maybe your flock is getting older and you're afraid that you won't be able to order more eggs from them big hatcheries this year. Well, maybe you can find a local hatchery that's in your area. Order your chickens from there. We have places here that are local that we can order meat birds from, or egg-laying hens. I would go to my friends, or just grab fertilized eggs. You can look all around and people have fertilized eggs for sale. And incubators are not that pricey depending on what you want and what you're expecting to do with your flock. So that's one way to do it, really, is to look around you. Again, we encourage you all the time. Open up your eyes and open up your mouth and make those connections. Reach out to the farmers, reach out to those people around you. There's other homesteaders that might have chickens or fertilized eggs or are raising birds of their own. There's nothing stopping you from doing that. You may not be able to get your stuff from the big hatcheries, but those people, those conversations, that's a resource. Don't miss out on that.
That's true. The other thing that you can look at or be mindful of is looking at what your local jurisdiction rules, laws state. We're never out here to encourage people to break the law. That is never the intent with anything we do. What's some other ideas that we can offer?
So maybe you're not a homesteader, maybe you're a beginning homesteader, right? And you live in an HOA restricted community. You live in the city, or you live somewhere small. So HOA, right? You live in a community and they say you can only have 3 or 5 hens. That's a great start. So go and find someone that has chicken eggs, or go and find someone that has chicks, and get 3 to 5 babies, right? And when you do that, and honestly, I would get like 7, because even if 3 is a restriction, you wait until they grow up and then you got 3 girls and 2 boys anyway, or whatever. So go and find those animals and start raising them on your property. Don't think because you can't get it from outside the state or there's a huge bird flu going on, don't think that that means it's the end all to your dreams, because you can still raise birds. Be mindful of where you house your birds, being mindful of what you're feeding your birds, and be smart about what you're doing and how you're caring for your birds. And maybe you're wanting to expand your flock. Just take your time bringing new birds in or bringing adult birds into your flock, and make sure that they're not ill when you bring them in, right? Because no one says you have to just get chicks. There are people all the time selling pullets or the, a little bit older hens, because maybe they're done, right? So there's other ways around it. Check your jurisdiction, check what your rules are, and go from there. But here's another thing. Maybe you do live in an apartment and you can't do something like that. So find a friend, right? Just like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Phone a friend.
Right.
Phone a friend or family member and say, hey, Mary, hey, Lisa, I want some chickens, but I live in an apartment. You got a little bit of land, girl. Can we do some chickens together? I'll pay for halvesies, or I'll buy a bag of food every other time. How can we do this together? Because I want eggs without going to the store.
Yeah.
Same thing with meat birds.
We recently had some friends that partnered with another set of friends. One had a lot of property, the other one didn't, and they went in together to purchase a bull calf.
Yeah.
So they could raise it up and split the cost at the end. So,
Gardening with Goodie's doing the same thing.
there you go.
He's got a pig and he wanted a pig, but he can't have a pig on his property. So he's partnering with his brother-in-law or his brother, and they're doing the pigs together. What a great way to supply what you need for your family without having to have all the property or the means to do it that way.
Well, the great thing is, with all the social media that is out there, there's so many people and so many ways to communicate and contact people that are in this industry. And so just don't give up on that.
Yeah.
Make sure that you continue to push forward with what your dreams are, and don't let your dreams come to a halt.
So the avian bird flu, I'm sure it's true enough. Do your research, figure out what that means for you and your state or your local area. Fine, but don't worry about it. Don't get nervous and scared and think this can't be real. I'm never going to do this. You can. Just open your mouth and think, how can I do this? And if you need help, reach out to some farmer friends, reach out to some homesteaders that are doing it.
That's right.
And find a way to get your dreams, right?
That's right. So we talk about this often on our lives that we do each week, but we wanted to put a video together to encourage you here, I can't see my hand, to encourage you. This angle is weird.
Your arm's going to be hot. It's going to be shaking in a minute.
We want to encourage you, and that's what this channel is about. As we mentioned earlier, it's not about fear-mongering. It's not about anti-government. It's not about hatred for certain groups of people. It has nothing to do with that. We just want to encourage you. If you want to homestead, if you want to be able to raise your own food, don't be afraid. Open your mouth. Seek out the people who can help you.
Be resourceful.
Be resourceful. Use the tools that you have.
And don't let those scare videos, don't let those clickbait videos scare you into not doing what you want to do. So, of course, things are real, but it doesn't mean really ending your dreams.
That's right. So, hey, who likes some good encouragement on a nice Sunday afternoon?
Farmers' wives do.
Should I not say Sunday? Because now people are watching on Monday. They're going to be like, we're late.
Who likes hanging out in the barn with their husbands? Farmers' wives do. Farmers like to hang out with their husbands too.
No, farmers like to hang out with their wives. So until next time, we appreciate you checking us out.
Peace.
Peace.